for us. Hey, Laura.
Hi,
Hey, Laura.
how are you?
Doing great.
Doing well.
Good.
Waiting room's out.
How about yourself?
Good. I'm starting to, when I'm busy working stuff, I'm finding myself getting irritated if I got to go on an appointment. I'd rather be here working on my AI stuff.
Man,
And
I know what you're talking about. There's just been.
well, I'm like, do I need to flip what I do for a living? Because I enjoy this stuff so much, but it's like, how do I make money at it? So,
You got to make a living, and that's the challenge. I see so many people talking about, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, and it's great.
right.
But can you make money doing it? And what a lot of people are finding is that it's tough. It's you can share a lot of content, you can do a lot of things, but sometimes it's just.
Well, I also just recently saw, I don't know if it was a YouTube or a blog, but a lot of these companies that reduced their workforce and replaced them with AI are now rehiring these people back.
Exactly. Yeah. There was a lot of overhype on the agents and what they can and can't do, and the other issue is humans want to be, with other humans, and getting on the phone, making the appointments, can make the appointments, but then you've got to still deal with building the relationship, and and that takes human to human. So
It does.
let me see here. Let me record. Host. Start recording. Start recording. I'm going to do immersive. Hopefully this will work. Force everyone into that view. All right. Well, I see. Actually, let me change to a gallery view for a second so I can see everybody. There's Laura Sanowski. Let's see. I don't hear you though. You're muted, I think. I don't hear you, Laura. Nope. Yeah. There have been days that I get into something and I start digging in. It's like, oh man, I want to be able to do this or I want to be able to do that. And I just start going down this wormhole of, doing more, being more. So, Laura, are you there now?
I'm back.
Yay. Okay, I can hear you now.
Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button.
No problem.
I never got an email for the meeting this week.
It was in junk mail, Laura.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
man.
found it.
Was it?
I hate junk mail. We'll need to take a look at that one. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. Well, I'll go ahead and get started. We've got a lot of things to go over, some new features, new functionalities, some things that I want to share, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. Before we do that, like always, I want to make sure that we answer your questions on the things that you need. If there's a particular question that you've got, something that you want to go over, how do I do this or whatever, now's a great time to do that. If it has something to do with your account personally, where I would need to look at your data, it may be we ought to set up a one-on-one, go through those. But definitely, if you guys have any questions, certainly reach for the little hand or put in notes or just speak right up.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
It was the one I emailed you this morning, but I'm sure you've been busy. And I think it's the way it's set up. But if you go into the titles of party members.
Titles of party members, like in the setup section?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to party members. Okay, so search seller's agent.
Seller. Oh, we have listing agent.
Maybe, no, try apostrophe S, because I know it was there. I didn't add it in.
Because of your data import, it may have come
Oh.
from there. Our normal one is listing agent.
Okay, go back to where you were though, seller title.
Okay.
Okay, do you see how in seller's title, the S beneath the main title is not capitalized and there's a space between there's no space. It's just something that irritates me and I can't fix it.
Well, the little code underneath is...
That's what shows up on my site.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I don't care if the code stays that way, but it seems like it would be opposite, where the main title shows up.
Yeah, the main title should show up. I'll double check your account. That may be an import thing.
Oh, okay. If it's just me, then yeah, definitely move along.
Jen, sellers, title, space. Yeah. What should be showing on any of those is the human readable version. This is the code that identifies what the field binding is. It's where it's actually stored. We don't like to store spaces and stuff inside the database part. And I do go ahead and show that, but you should never really see that. So if you are seeing that, that tells me something. On the email, did you send me like an example address or something? Okay, I'll take a look at that for you. I've been in meetings. I've been in meetings all morning, so.
Yeah, no worries.
Great question, though.
That's it for me.
Any
Hey,
other
Mark,
questions?
I have a question on the OpenAI integration.
OpenAI integration. Okay.
So when I look at that, it shows credits used this month. And then you had made a mention in last week's meeting that you could OpenAI key there. Okay.
Yes.
What does that have any impact on the amount of credits then that are available in the account?
No. You get whatever your number is. I think it's 600 for.
I have 600.
Yeah. That should be more than enough for most anything that you do. But what that does do is that allows us to control the models. We go through and we decide the best model for the AI to answer with. What we determine best is, does it give you the right answer and good answer at the least amount of cost token wise. A lot of technical stuff going on there, but there are times when a higher model, a newer model, might give you better solutions, in which case using your own key, and in those cases where a better model should work better, we can use that better model if you prefer that. So if you've got plenty of credits and you're not, if you're way over here and constantly, there'll be a little notification at the top saying, hey, you're getting close to your total credits. If you're not seeing that, what we're doing, if you're getting all the right answers, just use what we've got. It's not that much, but we've got some people that just use it like all get out. I mean, it's just they're using a lot of credits, and in those cases they'll get notified, and it needs to then kick over into your own piece. I've got some people that their number of credits are actually exceeding their subscription, so I can't lose money.
Does it default to a certain one, or does that change?
It changes based off of the need. So some things need better models, some things, but if there's plenty of credit for what we need, it'll use ours. So,
all right.
Good question, though.
Are you going to go over the portal at all today?
I am going to go over it briefly. One of the things that Laura and I are meeting this afternoon, I want to make sure that the things that she, imagined in her system, that we've incorporated that. But I do want to show you some really cool things that I've done this past week, over the weekend, and making the release on Monday. There was some changes, and I do want to go over that and share that with you. But
So
we will be
what
doing
we're-
a training
What we're
on
looking
it.
at, what we're looking at in our account right now isn't the most current, is what you're saying.
It may not be.
Like for example, if you go to your setup there, if you would.
So you should see binding and templates.
Yeah, that's what it looks like now. But in the video I watched from last week, it was a lot different.
Yeah, it was, and that was because there was a lot of things that were hard coded, and that's why I said I want to finish some things. There was
All right.
there was
So we're
things.
it's not really ready yet.
It is ready. The thing that I want to make sure of is all these widgets. I kind of think of them as building blocks. Each one of them have different features and functionality that you can use, and it's fully functional right now in your account. But are there other features or functionality elements that maybe I missed, and that's why I'm meeting with Laura? What we will do is probably have at least 2 meetings. One is to train with Laura her ideas and thoughts and stuff on this, but then just have some brainstorming sessions and talk about, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we did this or that or whatever. My goal has always been create a portal that will allow you guys to configure its look, but also its content. A lot of portals will limit what you can see, and there's no way of configuring it in a way that you show the maximum amount of stuff that you want. For instance, some things that we did, like on notes. I've added the ability to set up which notes you show based off of tags. I'm going to go over this. We've added tags to notes. We've added tags to calendar activities. A lot of things that would allow you to individually pick things that you want in the portal, and without them, they would exclude it from the portal. And I'll go over all that.
Okay, so like for example, you have all kinds of notes about a client and a transaction, but you could have a tag then that said, I want somehow this to be included in the portal, and that would be like a universal tag that you could use across all
Exactly.
the portal.
Yeah, exactly. So like in the notes section here, whenever you add a note, there's this new tags piece, and you can tag that, and upcoming appointment. Well, if I choose upcoming appointment as a tag, and in my portal I've said put any notes that have upcoming appointment in this particular area, then that's where it's going to put it. So it allows you to see certain elements, either notes or activities or checklists or whatever, based off of either tags or a type of some sort. And I do want to go over that. Let's answer other questions first, and then we'll go over that. Which maybe now, I don't know. Anybody else have questions? Okay. Well, let me go back to that. So, like I was saying, there are a lot of elements. There's a lot of parts and pieces to data. We've got things that are in our notes. There's things that are in checklists. There are things that are in calendar appointments. Anything that right now you have in your database is a potential for something that you want to show on a portal. But there could be a lot of things that you don't want to show. So you got to be really careful on showing something that shouldn't be there, and making sure that configuration is set up the way you want it and not the way that I've specified that way I think you need it, is really important. So whenever you add, let's just, as a for instance, whenever you add an activity, we now have a tag field in there for activities as well. Same thing for routines. So if there's a particular something that you want to show in a portal in a certain area of the portal, you can simply click on the tag, show in portal. Maybe it's a generic one, to show it in there. But you can also specify it for each little widget, and I'm going to show this, is each widget can use its own individual tags. So even though you've got calendar items in one area, it may be that some of those calendar items actually need to show in a different area, and making sure that that widget, that building block, has the appropriate information in it. So let's just taking this as an example, for an activity itself. If I'm in George Washington's thing here, and to say this is a test, and I'm going to tag this with show in portal, and click on save. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. So the thing about this one is, if I was to go to, let me go to my setup here. Go into setup, and then go into the portal setup. The branding piece is pretty much just your logos, your colors, the color schemes. You can choose what color platform you want as a base. Once you've selected it, it uses that, but you can fine-tune all your colors as well. So if there's things that you want different colored or whatever, you can change the color. You click on it, and put in the color code, or whatever it is that you want to use. Once that's set up, you can click on save, and the next time you view the portal, it'll be there. So the branding is just, how does it look overall? The templates identify the what and the where. So in a portal, you have a couple different types of portals. Actually, one of the things that I did add to this since we last talked was, before I just had a buyer portal, a seller portal, and that was it. I now give you the ability to add your own new layouts. So you can create new ones, you can copy existing ones, and maybe you want one for a rental, maybe you want one for investors, maybe you want one for first-time home buyers versus move-up sellers. I don't know, but the portal itself can now be configured, and what that allows you to do is identify different milestone items that you hit at different times. So each one of these then can be set up, and you can set up different layouts for those. Once you've chosen kind of a topic, in this case a seller client portal. Okay, we're dealing with sellers in this case. I can give it a title of some sort. So the welcome to your seller client portal is there. The portal step is what section of this preview am I actually looking at. So the your appointment is one page, and on it might have certain elements that you want to show. Well, we want to show the title, we want to show a highlight banner, which is like this. It's a different color. You can go into this, you can choose whether you want it to be a solid color or if you want it to be gradient. So you can do different setups and different looks of everything it has some defaults in there, but you can customize it however you want. But like on this one, do I want to show important dates? I can turn that on, and then I can say dates for this banner. Which dates do I want to use inside of here? So the next appointment date is one that I want. So if I go in here, I can choose from any of my important dates that I want to allow to be in here. Next appointment date makes the most sense, but maybe you use some other date instead of next appointment. Initial call, or whatever. You can use different date fields to show up in these different areas, and you can actually select multiples if you want to or need to. So again, it shows the human readable date. It also shows a human readable with day more accurately spelled out. People like to see the full thing instead of the date stamp that we've got inside the date field of our important dates. So that's there. Notes from the agent. So you can tell it, where am I pulling my notes, the contacts, the listings, the transactions. Which notes do I want to show in here? Well, I can choose it by the tag of the note. Any note can be tagged, so I can choose which tag I want. And if it says upcoming appointment, now this section will show the upcoming appointment note in there.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
Can you set it up so that anytime you update the portal or give them new information, that it can automatically send them a text to notify them?
It should be sending them an email, but I can also do text. It does not. Good question.
You want to make sure if you're doing that the way I'm doing it on the Lovable side, it's a manual thing, because if I make
several
10
changes
updates in a day, it's going to send them 10 texts, and you don't want them to do. Mine is set up to send them an email. Hey, your portal's just been updated, but I have a button on each portal that says notify client, because otherwise, if you set it to automatic, every time you make a little change, it's going to send that notification, and then you're going to piss off the client if they're getting like 20 texts or emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
I don't have it set up yet, but I do have it on my to-do list, is to have it as an action. So if you change a date or something like that, it could be done as an action at the end of the day, type thing. So something that could allow you to send one notification message at any time. So, but those are great questions, and those are the types of things that I would love to have your input on. Anything like that, definitely chime in. Okay. So we got notes, we got resource links. So you might go in there. Oh, is Jose and them on here? I don't see them. One of the things that Jose is always asking me about, hey, does it include Spanish? I can now have a little on-off. Right now I just have it set for Spanish, but we'll let other ones down the road. Makes the most sense just to have Spanish right now. If this is on, then you are given the opportunity to choose a English version versus a Spanish version. And with that, if your client's language is Spanish, whenever they open the link, it will show the Spanish versions of everything. Likewise, if it's English, or if it's not set at all, which is the default, it'll do the English. So all of these have different settings based off of English versus Spanish as well. So we
Thank
got,
you, Mark.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you are on here. I didn't see you on here. Good.
Is it possible to upload a picture, profile picture for the client?
That is on my list as well. I don't have that. That's one of the things I wanted to talk to Laura about. She had mentioned something about a video or something that she uploads whenever she's got a client, and I wanted to get a little bit more input on that. The challenge with, we could put it just as a let me go back over here to contacts. Let me go back to George. And we go to portal. So there is a new merge field for portal URL. I forget what the actual merge field is, but there's a new merge field that you can use to send out your emails, and it gives them this link. This link right here is a special key. It will time out, and they have to go use that particular link. If they save it or whatever, it right now, and I may change this, it will say, hey, you need to go back to your link. It's called a magic link, and it identifies each time that they go to their portal. You get notified as well through a date field update, a behavioral update. So we want to know when do they come back to the portal. But all of these things that we've identified as being tagged or whatever gets shown up. My challenge is for a client's picture, because this is like a huge image, you don't see much of a face. If you do just a face, you might see their eyes or something. So I don't know that I would want to put it up here unless we do something different where we just put their photo and some basic information or something to the right of this. Right now it's just a banner, but I do want your input on how you would use that photo if we put it in there. You can go into George's photo manager and add a photo, and in that photo upload a hero image of some sort. Let's say pictures, and let's choose Mark. Let me just grab an image here. So I can put that as my hero, in which case I analyze. It will then take that that image and put it somewhere, but this would not work well for a banner. What would we do with that? So that's what I would like your input on. How do we deal with that? But this right here can be used as some image somewhere on the portal somewhere if you want to do that, or family picture, or whatever.
Mark, when this URL that's created is like some sort of mini website, right?
Correct.
So that being the case, you could have it display a video, right?
Yes, we can.
And so the options then would be to upload like a link to an MP4 that you have on a server, right? Or you could embed it. That would be another option, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my request is that there's some sort of box, like all the other boxes, that includes a video capability there.
Okay.
And I see that as some sort of about me video or about the company or something along those lines.
Absolutely, I like that.
Yeah, basically that's why when I created the seller portal first. That was easy. The header, the hero was a photo of their house. Right. Whether you Google mapped it, got it from a prior listing, whatever, you put their house. So when they went in the portal, they were seeing their house. Well, when you get a new buyer client, we don't have a property yet for them. So I was like, well, what do I do? And that's when I came up with I do an individual video for that buyer, and I say their name, and I kind of say, here's our appointment details. This is your portal. This is how the portal works, right? And then once I get them into contract, the portal's flipping the hero from the video to a picture of the house that they're buying. It's an emotional attachment is what I'm trying to create.
I like that.
Yeah. I think the video for the buyer in the the header thing is a tough one just because of the dimensions. But I can see it totally in one of the little containers that you have.
Yeah. This can be changed as far as the height and stuff. It can be changed. There's a compact, a medium, or whatever version. So it can grow and change. I don't currently have it changing by its section, which I could certainly do that. I just don't currently have it do that. So
I mean, you could even take that header image and break it into 3 containers or something like
Sure.
that if you wanted to. There's a lot of options.
yeah. Great input.
Mark,
Yes.
is the pictures, is it from one, I mean, the banner, or is all the portals is going to have the same header?
So whenever you set, right now it's set up. How is it set up? It is set up per setup and portal and the templates. So the you know what? I'll change this. We'll have this as the default hero. It is doing this. I mean, we can pull it from our image library. We can upload an image, but it is static right now. I don't know why I did that. That doesn't seem right. It seems like I did change it so that each one can use it. I'll double check that.
I think you'd want a default
Yeah,
and then
you
an
want it-
option to change it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure why I didn't do that. Maybe I missed something. Highlight banner, photo,
Oh,
party members. So here are the different widgets, just so that you guys know. We've got the title and description, and I'll make it so that the top image comes from the listing image or the hero image or whatever, and let you guys pick and choose that. The links and resources, that is the these little boxes here. You can set them up with a title. You click on them and it opens up something on your website or some video or something that you want it to go to. It's just another resource that they can use. And if you've got multiples on there, it'll just come, it'll build a multiple tiles of resources that are available.
In something like that, can you put an image that then links to something as well? You can obviously put a link in, but can you put an image with a link?
Yeah, so what do I have in there? I've got the URL, I've got the title. I'll certainly add an image option as well. Image on resource. Okay.
I've got a screenshot of what the video looks like on the buyer portal, but I can't put it into the chat, correct?
Don't think so. We can go through that. What I want to do is meet with Laura, go through a few of these things, make sure that I was on track, and there's things that I've missed, I know. But with everybody's input, I want to create something that is what you guys need. And based off of that, then configuring this is what's the important thing, is making sure that everything is set up and configured the way you want. So we've got notes, we've got important dates. This is from your important dates section. You choose which important dates that you want to show. You can give a title, a description, and then you can show whether you want just a placeholder for it, or hide that section if there are no dates that are assigned, and then you choose which dates that you want put in there. So that's in there. The documents and files. So any files that you've got, if you tag those files inside the Files tab, you can choose which tags, similar type of thing, where you're choosing which tag that you want to use. If the file has that tag, it would show the file or document. That could be, some images and stuff. A client form is allowing the client on the portal side to fill in different fields. Laura had on, let's see which one it was on the pre-launch, I think it is. We have a client form, in which case here are the questions. So she's asking, tell us about your home, list each upgrade, all these different fields that on their portal they can type in and they can hit save. Once they save it, then it comes back into SAM, into that section's, that listing will have a client homework section, in which case you can see what they entered. So that gives you the ability to collect information from them besides just using notes or a messaging piece that goes along with that. So the client form is there. Key facts, that's like what's the MLS number, list date, just some key facts about that particular section. There is a text section which allows you to set up similar types of things, either meeting notes, or you can set up your own custom section and type in some stuff in there. I'm not sure that's actually set up fully there. I need to look at that one. The info cards, the title and description, those are just titles and descriptions of bigger blocks of data. The checklist. So inside of SAM, you've got your checklist tab where you've gone through and you've identified all the different checklists that you need to complete. Well, there are times when you want your client to see those checklist items. So let's go here to in escrow. I think it is. Pre-launch. Here's those fields. So the client can fill in that information and then submit that information. Where are, I thought I had in here the ability to show you. No, these are showing activities. The showings portal, I'm going to go ahead and release this week. There's a couple more things that we need this next week, I should say, that will allow you to put in all your showing information and be able to let them see, hey, these are the properties we've shown, and get some feedback and stuff on that. So that's available in there as well. And then party members. Which party members do you want to share? The lender, the title, the escrow, those types of people can have a party member area. And then your calendar widget are the calendar items that's on your calendar that you want to be able to share as well. And those are based off of tags. The checklists are based off of the group that they're in as part of a checklist. Every checklist can be in a group, and we're just basing it off of the group name on that. So once you get each one of the different sections, so here we've got the, your appointment, your pre-launch, whatever. These are all the different milestones that go across. Actually, you can also turn on and turn off whether you want a certain section to be viewed or not. So like in this one here, I don't want my meeting overview to actually be on the milestone stuff at the top. I just want it to be on the left-hand side over here. I've got this meeting overview. So after I did the appointment, here's kind of the meeting overview. I don't have that as part of this, and it's just because I have it turned off. Any of these can be turned on or turned off at any time. So
so we turn it on or we turn it off?
You can turn it on or turn it off. The goal is to have it by conditions. So if they don't have a listing yet, it'll be off during the listing. So, and then the other thing is each client may have different properties or different things. So we do have the ability to go back, and they have a base portal where maybe they need to go to a different listing or a different transaction. Maybe they're an investor or whatever, so they have different things to show. Oh, I bet you this is where it's at. Estimated proceeds can be in there. Your different documents. This is actually the one that had the samples on there for pre-launch. There's the homework that was filled in, and then on market, the showings, important dates, at a glance. Here's that at a glance, those facts piece. And then in escrow, there's more facts, more important dates. I really thought I had, oh, here it is. I knew I did. The checklists. So on inside of SAM, you've got your checklists, and you can show them whether there are things, and I probably need to offer the ability to ignore or not show ignored items in checklists, because you may not want them to know that you ignored it. Ignored, not shown option. But going back to the key to this thing, guys, there's a lot to this. I understand that. But we set it up one time. Once we set it up, then every time you get a new client, they're going through the process. You've got your automations automatically tagging files. You've got different things happening. The portal stays updated for you automatically. You don't have to go through and do all this manual work. The notification piece, when do I notify them? May need to address that, but that just gives us the ability. See, I do have memory lane. I've got this set up. I do have this set up to pick the landing page photo or the hero photo, because that's a different photo than the other one. So I know it's in there. I just haven't slept probably since adding that. Title and description. That's the main thing. Maybe it does it automatically. Maybe I need to take a look at that. Anyway, going back to the original statement, Laura and I is going to meet. Once we meet, I'll fine tune some things, and then we're going to set up a separate meeting, an actual workshop to step you through each piece. You guys can customize it on your own, and just identify what you want where and how you want it laid out. Hopefully, we've got all the parts and pieces there by then to let you, create your masterpiece, create what you feel as being the portal that you want to share with your customers. Does that make sense?
Hey, Mark?
Yes.
Hey, Sergio, I have a quick question. I haven't been on here in a few weeks, and are you able to provide a link to a third party that will then feed into this? For example, I have leads that come in from Zillow, for example, and so I work with Zillow's CRM, and I enter in information and updates about the lead and what I'm doing. When that person responds back to me, it goes all into their CRM. Are you able to provide like a link that I would, like a hook that I would give to Zillow or to a third party, like a social media guy, that will then populate back into your portal?
I'm working with Don Pelletier right now on the Zillow piece to try to get that set up. We do have built into SAM in the integrations area this email leads to SAM. So whenever a lead comes into the system and you get notified by Zillow, hey, here's this lead, you can have that auto forward to this address, and it will pick up and use AI to parse the information and put that lead in there. But the behavioral pieces, like updating Zillow with the information, is not there. But that's what I'm trying to make available for you guys. I'm working with Don on that right now.
No, that's great. No, I didn't realize that you had that. At least so it will dump whatever parsed information into your portal. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes,
basically.
that's the main piece of what this email does. The email parser itself. So whenever I can come in here and I can look at what the email looks like itself, and it may have names and addresses and all that kind of stuff, and the AI will take that, automatically import it, and then it can use these predefined status fields to assign to that contact whenever it's imported. You can also set up certain conditions, like only imported if it has these certain words in the subject, like new lead added, or something like that, so that if you're getting other types of emails from that same portal, which may be, please update us about John Smith. Well, we don't want John Smith being added to the database multiple times. We just, so there'll typically be a special header or subject line that says you have a new lead or something like that, in which case that happens. We can also say, well, if a lead comes in and you're forwarding it from that portal, some portals only allow one email to be put in there. Well, you can put our email in there, but as soon as we get it, we then can forward it back to you as a normal email, so that you get both notifications. You get the normal portal email, and you get it inside of SAM automatically imported. At that point, once you do that, you can specify what date it is. So I might have a new lead date that gets filled in whenever that lead comes in. And at that point, my routines can kick in and say, whenever a new lead date comes in, automatically do these things. Send email number 1, send email number 2, wait so many days, send email number, whatever you want, and set that up. So now you've got a full system in place to handle that, and you can scale your business. Because right now, if you're trying to do that individually, that becomes a real challenge, especially if emails are coming in the middle of the night. How do you respond to them quick enough?
Right. My follow-up question is, if I'm working with a social media guy that's basically going to generate some ads for me, on this integrations tab, is there a hook that I can provide him that he can tie to, like a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, that when the person clicks on it, that it will come into, the response will come into your portal?
Well, we do have Facebook lead ads capabilities. So if you're setting up an actual Facebook lead, those leads can be automatically brought into SAM through the portal piece. It has to connect. It takes a little bit of time to connect. But once you set up the Facebook leads, that will bring in the leads automatically on that.
Right. Well, I've got this young kid that's gonna help me with, like, managing the ads manager part. Okay.
Yeah.
Of Meta. Okay. So when he creates the ads for me, and let's say I get some activity from it, my question is, is there a hook that I provide to him, so that when he sets up the thing in Ads Manager, or it could be in a lead from LinkedIn or from YouTube or TikTok, that when the customer clicks on it and wants more information from me, that it'll go into your portal. That's my question.
The main thing, we can do it for Facebook that way. I don't have it for some of the other portals yet. I am working on a social media section, and I promised Jose for the longest time that I'd be posting it, but I've been redoing it, and we're trying to get it used for us first, and then make sure it works before we release it. So,
Okay, cool. No, I'm just asking. I didn't know because I haven't been on in a few weeks. I've been super busy with property appraisals, but I just wanted to know that. So
Yeah.
thank you. This is phenomenal, man. This is what I've seen just this afternoon has been incredible. So
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Good. So portal wise, we'll get you more information. If you bought the portal, thank you guys for trusting in us. I know, forking out money for an extra thing that I know will save you money, but at the same time, it's not quite 100% there, but it's 95% there. You can actually use it right now, but there's going to be more features to that. So definitely keep your eye open for that.
Mark, I got two little things.
Okay.
First one is I hope Laura didn't have to pay $480. She
I
got grandfathered in.
comped Laura. I comped Laura. She's
Okay,
been
good. Just wanted to make sure.
No, I'm good for her.
The second thing is, and I'm just throwing this out as an idea because I have never really been able to figure out how to handle this situation. So like when we get new leads, they go through our system, they get all text messages through Twilio, they get emails from us, people correspond back and forth on the text messaging service that we use. For people that we know and they become clients, maybe they're listing a property or buying whatever, they don't really use our text message service through Twilio. They go through the phone numbers that our agents have, right?
Right.
And so that information gets lost really in terms of the permanent record. And I've never really come up with a good way to get it from the phone to the software.
Yeah.
And
I
if
wish-
anyone has any ideas on how to do that in some good way, I would definitely like to learn.
I wish I could solve that problem. That is like the number one thing that most CRMs struggle with, and it's more
And
of
it's a compliance thing.
It's
too,
a compliance
quite
thing
honestly.
because A2P, application to person messaging is an FCC type thing that we have to deal with, and unfortunately, iPhones and all these different devices don't allow you to send through them through an app. You have to use their device. Now, we have added, we do have the ability within the outbox whenever you're sending, or an SMS message, whenever you're sending it, if you're on a Apple machine, you can use this mobile device option, in which case it brings up the Apple's messaging, and it'll pre-fill it with your message, but it's still a manual process. I can't hit enter for you, and also I can't tell if you hit enter, and therefore whenever it pops up, if you use this feature right here, it's going to pop up and say, hey, did you send it? Because I don't know. So that's kind of, we're stuck as developers. We're stuck with that as a challenge. If somebody comes up with an answer that, I would love that answer. SendBlue and some of these other ones are semi getting around it, but they're using a bank of Apple phones and doing some things with it that is not normal.
Right.
And
I looked at that particular thing, and it's not.
they
it's
charge
not
an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah, it's just not really workable
Yeah.
in any big way.
So that's that. Let's see. One thing that I wanted to add on here, so we're running out of time. Sorry, guys. I'll keep going. If anybody needs to check out beforehand, certainly you're welcome to do that. We will send out the recording We've been double recording everything because our meeting software has been giving us fits. But in the landing pages, we just added a new field for, come down here, for survey. So whenever you set up a landing page, you can now collect information, but you can also do a survey. Say, I want, and I'm using, actually that's an interior one there, but I'm using some hero images and descriptions of things. But what this does is this says, okay, pick one of the three as a survey item. So you can create your own images, you can create your own text, you can have as many of these survey items as you want. They fill in their name and address information, and whenever they hit submit, it will show them a thank you page basically with the result and the results of other people's answers as well. This could be used for, hey, tell us about what styles of properties do you like, and then show them, maybe a Tudor house, ranch, whatever. And then based off of them selecting a choice, filling it out, then it puts it into their database. And now you know what styles they like. Different things like that can be done. So that's in there. You can come in, you can edit this. You can put as many different options in there. You can lay out with different types of images, upload images and stuff like that. So it's a just a easy way to set up a polling or a survey of some sort. That's not really our assessments. Our assessments are much deeper, much more refined. But if you just want a quick poll, that's a great way of adding that. Whenever you do that, and whenever they submit their responses, there is now a landing page survey results dashboard widget, so you can see who's answering what. If I click on certain things, I can see who answered it. I could then go in there and say, oh, hey, you really liked this particular property. Maybe I want to select these and put them on my call list, or start another routine, or do some kind of updating where I want to do something with them because they chose that choice. I want to do something with them. So it gives you the ability to do a call to action afterwards, knowing who answered what, and then sending very specific information to those people. So there's that. Survey dashboard widgets, office hours. Now, so I put a little thing on my Facebook blog. If you guys aren't friends on Facebook, certainly request friend. I want to make sure that everybody's on there. I walked. We work remote, but I have my whole basement basically is the office. I go up and I'm talking to Kathy, and she asked me, hey, how's things going? I said, good. Trying to figure out how we can get new users to enter data quicker, better, easier. And she goes, well, don't you have some kind of just quick, entry form type thing? It's like, no, I don't. And so I took the idea, I threw it into Sam. Sam came up with some ideas and stuff for me. We discussed them for about 15 minutes or so, and then I said, go do it. And in about 25 minutes, we got this new piece added into Sam. This is the beautiful thing about Sam being self-aware and knowing itself, how it functions. So now whenever a new user, but also you guys that are existing users can do the same thing. Whenever a new user first comes in, they're going to get this getting started pop-up box. They won't have the add projects unless they order it. You won't have it either unless you have the project section. Anybody that needs it, certainly, let us know. We can turn that on for you. It's just most people don't need it. But now you can go in there and say, well, I need to add a contact, or I need to add a property, a listing, a transaction. And by doing this, you click on it. You can say, okay, you can have different types of interview items. So maybe I just want to do a basic or a detailed contact import or input. So now it's going to say, okay, what's the name? Well, let's say Frank Lawrence. If I'd spell it right. And I just press enter. Frank L at example.com. Enter. 417-444, some number. Press enter. Do they have a spouse? Frank and let's say Mary. I do a lot of Marys. I can leave the second name blank and it'll put in the first name for Frank, or the last name for Frank. Does the spouse have an email? Well, if I know it, great. If I don't, I can skip it. Do they have a phone number? I can skip it if I want. Do I add any notes? Looking to buy a home in Bolivar, whatever. Say next. I can ask them categories, any kind of field that we've got, field information can be set up. Was there a birthday? I'll skip that for now. Status active, type client. You can specify what these fields are, but we've got some default ones in there. What happens then is it takes all that information, it puts it in. Because I put it in that one entry field, it added Frank, it added the note, it added that he was married, it added the connection, it added Mary's information. Had I asked for address and stuff like that, it would have been in there and put in there. But it all gets added just real quickly, quick and easy. So, thanks to Kathy, I was able to brainstorm that. But then it's like me and my Mark mind is like, geez, we really could do a lot of different things with that. But we've got this interview templates here. So each of the different sections, contacts, properties, listings, transactions, you can set up these different templates. And all they are all the different questions that I asked in the order that I wanted them asked. Here's the detailed one that we just did. So the name, the email, the phone, I can put in defaults. If I didn't want that, 417 in there, I can take that out. I can allow it to be skipped or not. So some fields you don't want to allow it to skip. You want it to put in there. I can default my categories, all the status and all that kind of stuff. I can pick from other fields in my database, other date fields, other, whatever it is. So you can set up different types of configurations for different things. Maybe you want a property importing piece. Maybe you want a listing layout. Maybe you want multiple listings. Maybe you want one for renters versus buyers. Different types of things that you want to do. You can set up different template layouts. So again, thinking building blocks, we can put things together and build them. But then it's like, oh man, what we could do is on the call list, if I'm on a call and maybe I need to do an interview with somebody, I can go up here into the shortcuts and I can add an interview item for whatever it is I want to do. So whenever I'm done with that call, I can just do, maybe I want to do a listing intake. I'm on a call for a listing update. Maybe I want to update the listing information. So I can pull it up and it will ask me the same questions, but if I already have the answers, it puts those answers in there. So I can just say next, yeah, that's the right address, the right city, state, zip. What's the listing price on this? Oh, I didn't have that in there. So let's go, $560,000, whatever the thing is, and the next, the MLS number. I can put in some MLS number. So who's the listing agent on that? Who's the listing coordinator? And click on save, and then it says, hey, these are in there. Let's update the existing one. So it goes through and does that process of updating or whatever. So by doing that, it adds all these different parts and pieces in, updates the existing information, and then you're good to go. Then I thought, man, maybe I've got an activity in my routines where I want to begin. Actually, it's not that one. Maybe one of my things is I want to begin a new listing. Whenever I get a new listing, I get a new listing entry date. It fills it in. Maybe I want to start an interview on my activity. So I can choose an action of start activity, of start interview. Which interview do I want it to start? And then click on that. So it comes up as an activity. Hey, you need to do your interview. So you can fill in all your information. The beautiful thing about this is if you want to do your inputs in a certain order, because maybe you've got some of your routines that have conditionals. So some routines, let me just see if I've got any in here. Like right here, the photography process on this. Whenever I enter a photography date, this will run, but it has a condition on it. It will only run if I've got a listing price greater than $400,000. If I don't have a $400,000 or more listing price, this routine won't run. Well, now what I can do is create that interview and make sure I ask the price first, make sure I get the price, and then I can also ask, what's the photography date? And then as I'm stepping through those steps, it's collecting the data. As soon as I put that information in, now it's got all the information, and my conditional will work. If it's under 400,000, it'll skip it. If it's more than 400,000, it'll start it. But I don't have to remember to put the price in first before this routine will work. So the interview process can be used in lots of different ways. So that one small comment that Kathy made just opened up a world of possibilities. But you can always start, if you guys just want to do a quick interview, you're on the phone with somebody, hey, give me some basic, you're a buyer, okay, sure, let's give me your name, you put in the information and you just go through each piece. In this case, I can't skip it because I told it not to skip, but you can go through while you're on phone, just start entering the things, and you don't have to go from screen to screen, tab to tab. It's all in one quick spot. Do y'all like that? Are you guys excited about that as I am? Maybe not. I don't know. Awesome. So that was added. Interviews, all the setup pieces on that. You can set up what parts and pieces you want on it.
Mark, what
yes.
happens, like say you want to do an intake and you already have the contact in there, but you want to add additional information?
It pops up and says, hey, I already have this contact. Do you want to update them?
Perfect.
Yep, it does check that. Two last things real quick. Number one, for those that haven't seen, we do have a entirely new website, workflowsecrets.ai. Lots of information, resources. If you guys have people that you want to refer, you can certainly send them here to us. Give us a call and stuff. We'll call them, whatever. But we have a much prettier, much more robust website, much more up-to-date, modern-looking website. Certainly would love to have you guys look through it and see all the different resources. One thing that I just added last night, it's not fully, I didn't go back in and fill in everything, but we've got a blog area. In the blog area itself, there we go. It will show you all the different. I've only got 3 items in there right now. I'm going to go back and do some post dating of things, but different blog pieces. But you can set up inside of that blog area. You can set up that you want to subscribe to it. So as new blogs get posted, you'll get an email with a link and everything. For our updates to the software, whenever we do a software update, everybody gets the little recent updates piece right here. It's just a list of the updates. The blog now, actually the update process allows me to feed the blog, and it turns it more into a story and information using AI. So a lot of this information is a little bit more readable in a blog. You'll get notified when that happens if you subscribe, and then of course you can unsubscribe anytime that you want. But also we've got a new blog item on the left hand side here where you'll be able to view them from in here as well. So if there's a blog entry that you want to see, maybe you want to comment on, whatever, you can comment and stuff. Right now I do have it moderated, but definitely, I may change that. Just let you guys type in whatever. I'm a little bit leery of spammers and stuff like that. So, the other thing that we've done, and this is still it's under review by Google. If you guys are getting advantage of the software of SAM, I ask that you go out there and give us, submit a review. This will take you to a Google page, Workflow Secrets. It's not fully approved and everything yet, but it'll allow you to put in, a Google review for us. We would much appreciate that. I know several of you guys have sent different types of testimonials and stuff, and we love that. If you've got a testimonial you want to send us, definitely send those to us. We will put them on the website as well. So we've got some testimonials of people that have put stuff. You can go in and read other pieces. We've got some videos. If you want to send us a video, that's great. If you just want to send individuals, we would certainly appreciate it. We grow like you guys grow through referrals and testimonials and stuff. So that's all I've got. Any questions? I'm 11 minutes over. Sorry. Try to honor your times. Any questions?
Mark, I think you should just say the meeting is an hour and a half.
Do you think?
That way you can quit at 1:15 and be early.
I will take that under. I will take that under, because we never get enough time. An hour. I add too much stuff for you guys. Is that a bad problem?
No.
Okay. Well, if it becomes a problem, let me know.
All right.
That was a week's worth of changes, and we've got so much more that I didn't release. Still testing. So, okay.
All right. Sounds good.
If you guys need anything from us, we're here. Cody, did you have anything?
The one big thing, and I do apologize, our basement is being renovated. 3:00 today. Stay tuned to all of the Workflow Secrets social medias. I have spent the last several weeks trying to build a better demo. The old adage goes, sell the solution, not the feature. It's like a
sell the sizzle.
Thing.
Sell the sizzle.
And I don't know that we always do a good job at that. And so I tried to really rein in something, but we've got a new demo that's getting pushed. And if you guys would help it go gangbusters, I'd be very grateful for that. But I think that's all I've got. Grateful for you guys. And, Mark and I go back and forth that, sometimes I'm like, as far as the time goes, like, just, don't stress about it. But his sentiment has always been like, he respects your time very dearly. So I just want you guys to know that is something that is the case.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I do. I know there's there's a lot of other places that you guys could be where you probably would rather be, but you choose to spend this time with us, and we don't take that lightly. So thank you. All right, guys, have an awesome rest of your week, and a great weekend. We will see you next week. We will be sending out announcements once Laura and I hash out some of the things that need to be addressed, and I'm hoping she said she would have her actually do some training on the thought process of that and get that in there. We will record it, so if you can't make it, certainly watch the recording once we do. But we'll make an announcement to everybody and make sure that you get that. So thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Have
Bye.
a great day. Bye.